Botarga is the Italian name for a delicacy of salted, cured fish roe, typically of the gray mullet or the bluefin tuna, Botarga di tonno, frequently found near coastlines throughout the world, that often is featured in Mediterranean cuisine and consumed in many other regions of the world. The food bears many different names and is prepared in several different ways. The product is similar to karasumi, the softer cured mullet roe from Japan, gunioran, the cured mullet or freshwater drum from Korea and East Asia. Also known in Egypt as Batarik, where it's known to be the origin of the word from the Coptic Egyptian language. Names and etymology. The English name, Botarga, was borrowed from Italian. The Italian form is thought to have been introduced from the Arabic butarha bitarkt, plural butari bitark, also derives from Byzantine Greek oidericon, egg, plus tarichin pickled. The Italian form can be dated to ca. 1500, since the Greek form transliterated into Latin as ovatariha occurs in Bartolomeo Platina's De Honesta Voluptate, ca. 1474, the earliest printed cookbook, and an Italian manuscript dating shortly afterward that closely parallels this cookbook attests to Botarga in the corresponding passage. The first mention of the Greek form oidericon occurs in the 11th century in the writings of Simeon Seth, who denounced the food as something to be avoided totally. Although a similar phrase may have been in use since antiquity in the same denotation, it has been suggested that the Coptic autericon might be the intermediate form between Greek and Arabic, whereas examination of dialectical variants of Greek oion egg include Pontic Greek oban, traditionally where the mullets are caught, and obo or bo in parts of Asia Minor. The modern Greek name comes from the Byzantine Greek, substituting the modern word ago for the ancient word oio acute nu. Preparation Botarga is made chiefly from the roe pouch of gray mullet. Sometimes it is prepared from Atlantic bluefin tuna, Botarga di tonno rosso, or yellowfin tuna. It is massaged by hand to eliminate air pockets, then dried and cured in sea salt for a few weeks. The result is a hard, dry slab that sometimes is coated in beeswax for preservation purposes. Not all Botarga is coated in beeswax, as some producers simply keep intact the natural casing of the roe, which contains the eggs securely once dried and salted. The curing time may vary depending on the producer and the desired texture as well as the preference of the consumers, which varies by country. Regions sometimes called the caviar of the South, Botarga usually is sliced thinly or grated when it is served. The delicacy currently is served in many regions, including the following. Croatia. In Croatia, the delicacy is known as butarga or butarda. It is usually fried before serving. France. In the French region, Provence, it is named poutargue and produced in the city of Martigues. It also may be called boutargue in France. Greece. In Greece, avgodarajo is produced primarily from the flathead mullet caught in Greek lagoons. The whole mature ovaries are removed from the fish, washed with water, salted with natural sea salt, dried under the sun, and sealed in melted beeswax. Avgodarajo mesalongio, made from fish caught in the Mesalongi Igalico lagoons, is a European and Greek protected designation of origin, one of the few seafood products with a PDO. Italy. In Italy, it is best known in Sicilian and Sardinian cuisine as botarga. Its culinary properties may be compared to those of dry anchovies, although it is much more expensive. Often, it is served with olive oil or lemon juice as an appetizer accompanied by bread or crostini. It is also used in pasta dishes. Botarga is categorized as a traditional food product, prodotto agroalimentare tradizionale. It varies by region, in particular, is produced in Sardinia from flathead mullet and in Sicily from bluefin tuna. Africa. Botarga is produced in Mauritania and Senegal. Turkey. In Turkey, botarga is made from gray mullet roe. It is listed in the Ark of Taste. It is produced in Dalyan, on the southwestern coast of Turkey, from the mature fish migrating from Lake Koyskiz.
Spain.
Botarga in Spain is produced and consumed mainly in the country's southeastern region, in the autonomous community of Murcia and the province of Alicante. It is usually made from a variety of roes including, among others, gray mullet, tuna, bonito, or even black drum or common ling, the latter two somewhat cheaper and less valued. Much of its production is centered around the town of San Pedro del Pinatar, to the shores of the Mar Menor, where there are also salt ponds. United States. The Ana Maria Fish Company in the Cortez Fishing Village located in Manatee County, Florida alongside a recently established and growing company named Gulf Coast Caviar. Also located in Sarasota, Florida processes gray mullet roe into its botarga that they sell locally, ship internationally, and make available to a few restaurants in the Gulf of Mexico region near Sarasota Bay. The County Tourist Bureau states that the process of making botarga was depicted in ancient Egyptian murals and that documentation from the 1500s exists that the Native Americans along the western coast of Florida were consuming dried mullet roe when encountered by European explorers. Other locations in Florida also process botarga. Norway. HROGN is from the Arctic Norwegian town of Tromsø is an innovative artisanal producer of botarga made from North Atlantic cod Gadus morhua. The production is done by hand and the botarga is left to dry outside during the cold winter months on the Norwegian dry racks traditionally used for stockfish. The botarga is usually dried for 10 to 15 weeks. See also: Eorin, Karasumi, salted and dry cured mullet roe of Japan. Notes